So really quick. All right, my guy, Money Mike. So look, my man, I appreciate you taking the time out of your Saturday to come on here and talk to us a bit. So let's just start off, start off, name what it is you do, how we got in touch, the whole nine.
So my name's Michael Delamonica. I actually met you through TikTok. Saw your TikTok videos, followed them, took the free information, and then was ready for the next level. And really wanted to just maximize my earning capabilities and my ability to access credit. And since I saw your formula was working, I reached out to you on one of your lives. We got together. I think it was within about a week or so. We
Yeah.
sealed the deal, signed the contract, and in less than about 35 days, we got just shy of $60,000 in funding and on our way to 150,000 plus.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. What has been the process? What was it like? Was it something where it was easier? Was it harder? Like, how's it been for you?
So when I was doing it by myself, even when I felt organized, there were still so many data points and things that came up that, I had to speak to business managers about, or I had to consult with attorneys about, or to go different things in different avenues. When I spoke with you, everything was formatted and ready to go. So I knew exactly what I needed to do. I can follow my ABCs, if it says put A here, put A there, I can copy success, and that's really what I felt. One, the support, your support was, the number one thing. But then when you gave me my funding map and how I was able to just follow it, it was so much simpler. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
follow the bullet points, you follow the yellow brick road, and you'll find what you need at the end of it.
No, absolutely. And that's what I try to tell people all the time. Like, there's so many different options, but funding's not as hard or as complicated as I feel like some people try to make it. Like, it's really as simple as, just follow these steps. Okay, go do this. If you meet these requirements, you get these results. You know what I mean? So that's definitely been something that's dope to see. For those who don't, one, what was it that made you want to go about obtaining the funding? And like, what are some of the things that you're doing with the funding?
So I had bootstrapped my business and, saved money, worked multiple jobs, did everything I had to do to fund my initial business.
Mhm.
And every time something would go wrong, that was cash that you would liquidate, right?
Yeah.
And in life, you can't expect things to not go wrong. You got to get good with things going wrong and navigating through the chaos.
Yeah.
And that's where the funding came in, that when I saw 0% as opposed to 15 or 30%. And it's not a whole lot of money when you're talking $1,000 you borrow, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about $100,000 and you're realizing 30% is $30,000, like, wait a second, that's crazy. He's showing me a way that I can get 0% funding for extended periods of time. It's like borrowing my own money. So believing in myself, getting an educated, business plan together, and then tackling it, implementing it. I
Yeah.
had the 0% funding. It gave me the peace so that you're not chasing the money, you're chasing the finished result,
Yeah.
and the money became the byproduct. And you don't repel money that way. And that 0% funding, having it there in the bank and having it ready to go as needed to be deployed, it just took away that worry of what if,
Yeah.
what if, what if this happens, or what if I need to buy this. It was there, it was ready to be used. I used it for marketing initially, and the marketing worked, so I wanted to double down. We went harder on the marketing, and now we're going into real estate expansion
Yes,
and
sir.
building the team. And this next round is going to go to really leveling up the company that I'm building right now. And we're doing it at 0%. And actually, funny enough, is one of the cards that I have is a 1% cash back. So
Okay.
as we get the
Okay.
limit high enough, if we buy a house on it for $100,000, we get 1% cash back on the purchase and we flip it. Like, how,
Yes,
like,
sir.
what?
Do you have any recommendations for others considering joining the program?
Don't wait. Don't wait, because we don't know what tomorrow brings, but we know today there are 0% interest cards. We
Yeah.
know that right now this is, and you can count on Mike figuring out the next steps and staying ahead of the curve. I've learned that from you, Mike, and I appreciate that, how thorough you are. But
Most
man, I
definitely.
would say don't wait. Don't put off to tomorrow what you could do today, because every day that you go without it, you have that anxiety and that stress. But
Mhm.
once you have that funding there, Now everything that you were worried about financially should be relieved. You have the funding amount that you need. You can go ahead and attack it the right way with the proper funding behind you and not worry about losing your house, your wife, or your dog. You know what I mean? And that's the best part, right? Like you have that peace of mind. And as long as you follow through and keep that work ethic, it'll pay itself back off. Just
Yeah.
don't go living off the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really good point. That's a really, really, really good point. Because my bad, I'm just thinking now, I feel like that's something a lot of people run into when it comes to like the utilization on the personal side or trying to spend too much of their own money as opposed to accessing the 0% capital and being able to scale without the stressors of not having enough, without the stressors of paying the 15, 30% interest, without having these extremely high monthly payments and different things like that.
Man, the calls. When you call one of those like subprime lenders or like, like don't worry, no credit, bad credit lenders, dude, you're gonna get put on a list forever. You're never gonna stop getting text messages about, loans that you may be approved for. And man, when you're doing business and you're sorting through, the last thing you want is 10 or 20 messages coming in saying all this funding stuff for 7%, 13%, 30% interest.
Yeah.
When I went with you, there was no text messages, no spam,
Yeah.
people we knew, banks I knew, you know what I mean? People that we could trust. So it was total peace of mind, man. I must have blocked like 50 to 100 numbers from applying for one of those other loans before I met you, and I still get the occasional call. You know what I mean? None of that with you. Like it's just the peace of mind, I can
Yeah.
tackle what I need to tackle the right way with the funding behind me. Started with the marketing, and here we are using it to expand the entire business model.
Really appreciate your time, my man. I appreciate you jumping on a quick call, just updating us, giving your honest feedback. And I think that's something I can't thank you enough for.
Appreciate you.
Because we have a lot of good conversations, obviously offline and different things like that. But one thing that I always wanted people to be able to see is like this stuff is genuine. Like we're not acting, we're not like outside of this, we really be tapped in. Like so
You'll see the stuff coming live on TikTok in a few weeks to a few months. So stay tuned. This is as real can get. You
yes,
know,
sir.
if you're looking for funding and you're looking to build your business and you need that peace of mind, look no further. You found it. Especially if you like his energy. If your energy matches and the program delivers, you got no place further to go.